That's a question for the whole panel. Are there too many
possibly.
Are there too many countries?
Far too many countries.
How many countries are there?
They're like 40 or something.
No, it's more than that. I think it's like 250 something.
250?
Which weird for don't play the guitar, man. This is a panel discussion.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah, we're recording.
I don't know. No, you just ruined the whole recording. With your bloody jimmying with the bloody guitar.
No, it's fine. The recording isn't ruined. You can't ruin a recording.
I just think I think there's 256 countries.
Yeah.
I think there's about that many.
About 256.
Which is weird because there's not as many countries as there are days of the year.
Maybe that's fine. Maybe there shouldn't be more countries than there
No,
are
I think there should be maybe less.
How do we get rid of countries?
How do we get rid of the country?
Yeah.
Remove
the countries.
Well, make the countries bigger. Say if you got Panama and you made Panama increasingly bigger, there's only a finite amount of place that Panama can go into. If you made Panama absolutely massive,
then you'd only have one
if you took Panama to the max size that Panama could be, the whole world would be Panama.
What's this got to do with Costa Rica?
Because Panama is underneath Costa Rica.
No, I thought Panama was above Costa Rica.
No, it's underneath Costa Rica.
Right, okay.
But if we made Panama bigger though, we wouldn't have Costa Rica. You should come and sit in this chair, Ollie, because you won't be even picked up.
Okay, come and sit in the chair. If we made... But no, the point can be applied to any country. If you made Costa Rica... The finite amount of size that you could make Costa Rica is a space where everywhere would be Costa Rica. You look left and you look right and it'd all be Costa Rica.
Would that be a nice world to live in, do you think?
Well, I don't know what they get up to in Costa Rica.
But if everywhere was Costa Rica, do you think we'd enjoy ourselves?
I feel like I'd be much more drunk if everywhere was Costa Rica.
You are drunk.
I know, but I feel like I'm even more drunk. And that's not anything against the Costa Ricans. I just think they have a nicer time in Costa Rica. I think, it's probably cheaper to drink in Costa Rica.
It's a lot cheaper to drink in Costa Rica.
Is it? What is Costa Rica?
I think it's a lot cheaper to live in Costa Rica.
Is Costa Rica a former communist state?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
Because Cuba it's cheaper to drink in Cuba because they used to be communist.
Do you reckon they pay council tax in Costa Rica?
I should imagine they pay some sort of equivalent if it's not called council tax.
I feel like in Costa Rica...
Sort of Hispanic council tax.
I don't think they'd pay any tax in Costa Rica. It doesn't seem like a place where they'd pay tax.
The name of Costa Rica makes you think like it's sort of utopian. The name of it, isn't it? It's like a travel away to the land of Costa Rica.
There's a vast
maybe that's what they call
jungle that covers a third of Costa Rica.
You seem to know more. Well, you are the geological expert of Costa Rica.
Protected jungle.
Protected jungle, 1/3.
Yeah.
1/3 of Costa Rica is protected jungle. I mean, how much of...
We don't have any jungle in England.
But no, I know we don't have it. That wasn't my question. I know we don't have any jungle.
Sorry to jump the gun on that one.
I'm just saying how much of England is protected environment.
A small amount.
Would you say a third?
Yeah, I'd say less than a third.
Less than a third.
I'd say like maybe a 32th.
A 32th. 2/5.
A 32th.
Yeah, yeah, 32th.
A 32th. That seems too small.
I don't know.
I don't know, but then I'm
What
trying to
do we mean
divide.
by protected?
No one's allowed to
wildlife.
build on it. It's supposed to be just purely wildlife.
Oh, then
Less than that, maybe. I'm
Yeah.
trying to divide England in my head into 32
because
pieces.
just like the term purely wildlife, it's very hard to think of any parts of England that are sort of, except from like there are moments.
New Forest.
There are little bits like around sort of seaside towns where they have the bracken and things like that. There's quite
like a lot of Scotland is. Like I'd say 50% Scotland. Snowdonia.
Yeah, Snowdonia's got a lot. Wales and Scotland have a lot more than England has. England's mostly farmland.
Do you think? Well, I'm trying to think of areas of England that would be protected.
England's because England's so flat.
Oh,
it's very easy to build it, whereas Wales and Scotland.
The Forest of Dean is protected.
The Forest of Dean is protected. In places, there's a lot of paths in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think a path's allowed in a. Is a path allowed in an environmental site? Would Costa
Rica has paths?
Costa Rican jungles have paths through them? Yeah.
Do you think they have paths in Costa Rican jungles?
Yeah, because I think they'd have tribes in Costa Rica.
Do you think people in Costa Rica visit the jungles on holiday in the same way someone in England might go to the Forest of Dean or the Fens?
Maybe not on holiday. I don't know.
No,
maybe more of a sort of escapade.
I think it'd be deeply more wild than our wild.
I don't think you'd want to go on holiday so much.
Yeah, I think their economy and their average earning is much lower than in England. I think affording enough money to go on holiday would be very difficult.
I think people would retire. They'd maybe retire in Costa Rica. Maybe when they're not working.
I don't even think that would happen in Costa Rica. What, you mean like a timeshare?
No, like where people just go to sort of live out.
Well, yeah, like a timeshare.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Joe. Me got to go. Mio Mio. He gotta go. Pull the pico down the bio. Is the fun, sweetest one. Mio Mio. Son of the gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. Fontaine, the place is buzzing. The kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dressed in style, they go hog wild, Milo Milo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bio. Jambalaya, crawfish pie and the Filet-Gumbo. For tonight I'm going to see my share a meal. Pitch guitar, fill a food jar and be a guy. Son of a gun, son on the barrel. Several down, far from sound, and him a proud. What pacing on, goodbye will live on, watch you Fish pie and Bio-Feelay-Gumbo. Thoughts tonight, I'm gonna see my share and pick guitar, feel future, and be like that. Son of a gun. Crawfish pie and Bio-Feelay-Gumbo. Tonight I'm going to share a meal. Pick guitar, fill the food jar and be like Bio-Feelay. Son of a gun, you'll have big fun on the Bio-Feelay.
I'm not saying that all old people go and end up living in Costa Rica. I don't think there's I don't think it's a go-to place.
My grandparents live in Costa Rica.
No, they don't. Your grandparents live up north.
They don't live up north, they live in Birmingham.
And where is Birmingham out? From here, London.
It's not in Costa Rica.
No, it's not. Costa Rica would be east.
Southeast.
West.
Southeast.
It'd be west. It'd be west from here.
Well, it depends which way. It depends how far you want to go.
It'd be east-west.
East-west.
Here's a point.
No, it'd be southwest. It'd be southwest from here.
How?
Only more west than south.
Here's a point. How far east do you have to go before you're in the west?
How far east do you have to Japan?
As soon as you hit Japan, you're in the west.
I'd say if you're at Japan and you start heading west from Japan, you're heading east.
What? But then you'd be coming.
No.
Going to China.
I'd say if you travelled east far enough, that you got to Japan.
And you went more east.
And you went more east.
Is it the point
if you went more east from Japan, you're going west.
Is it the point where you cross over the border of the map, as such? Like if you
well, that's how I'm looking at it.
Reaching the edge of Snake 2.
That's how I was looking at it.
I'm looking at the longitude, and I'm saying.
So if you keep going east until you reach America, then you've gone west.
Well, they say East Coast and West Coast, don't they? So the East Coast is New York, and the West Coast is California.
Yeah.
So wait, but that confuses it though, doesn't it? Because if you go past California, which is the West Coast, then you're going towards America, which is east again, and you're on your way back to Japan.
Yeah. See?
It's odd.
Yeah.
It's odd.
There's something odd going on there with the east and west thing.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, does it?
But if the world was flat,
Because I can.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense either way.
Well,
But it
what
makes
about
sense
yeah?
both
North
ways.
and south seems to make more sense in my head right now.
no, but
Because once you pass the North Pole,
then you'd be
you're-
going south.
yeah, then you'd be going south again.
Because the North Pole, there's a definitive. You go north.
There's a definitive point
and
where
there's a
you're going.
definitive point.
Where North is behind you. So if you go through the North Pole, North is behind you.
But the
Yeah.
difference I think is when you go north, everything's sort of moving towards the North Pole. But going east just seems to be like going left, if you know what I mean.
If you
Like,
go, if you head on the equator, say, is the equator like the dead sort of like equal point between north and south, or is it the sun's sort of like perfect path? What is the equator?
Is the equator
It's the
an angle?
midpoint of the Earth, where you'd say like
I think
you can,
the
you can walk
equator
along it.
is the midpoint, isn't it? Because the equator's on an angle, isn't it? Because the Earth is tilted.
Yeah, I'd say the equator. My instinct is to say that the equator.
It's on an angle.
Well, I'm just saying it's
Or
like the midpoint
equator
between the
is
North and the
midpoint,
South
yeah,
Pole.
Yeah. And so
It's still on the same angle.
thusly it's on an angle.
But maybe not,
Yeah,
because
it's, yeah, it's like in line.
Because you got the Tropic of Cancer above it and the Tropic of Capricorn below it.
But there's no. The thing is that the North and South Pole are points, whereas there's no points for the East and West. There's just a line.
Yeah. So, what are we saying? Once you've got to the, it can't be before you get to California. I don't think. Going west, California is absolutely the limit you can go to before you're going east again, because it's the west coast. But maybe I'm thinking too in a Western capitalist terms.
But I think that's very specific to America.
Yeah, I think so. But
Well, we're talking more on global terms here.
okay. But I mean, where does Costa Rica come into this? Because like, where is Costa Rica in all this? Because I think I'm imagining Costa Rica being on the east side of South America.
The east side? But which side is the east side again?
Yeah.
What is the side of Argentina on?
Yeah.
All the way down the leg of it, all the way down to the South Pole.
I sort of imagine.
Yeah,
it
well,
being
the
around
bottom
there
is
as well.
Panama. The very bottom.
The very bottom
It
is
sticks
Panama.
out, and then it goes.
What before
Drop.
before Antarctica?
No, I don't know how high. I don't know how low down it is, but it's like sort of a country.
But it's
Costa
Chile.
Rica,
Chile then I'd
and
say
Panama.
Chile was on the east side. No, west side. I'm confused about what Costa Rica is again. Because
Costa Rica's a country.
I know it's a country, but I don't really know where Costa Rica is. I've always thought Costa Rica was an island.
In Ireland?
No,
Island.
not in Ireland. But
Costa Rica's not an island.
no, I know. Cause Ireland does. Even if it was, Ireland wouldn't deserve it.
They wouldn't be able to accommodate Costa Rica, I don't think. the Irish.
No, I know Costa Rica isn't in Ireland.
It's not, no.
No, I thought it was an island.
I think it's an island, isn't it?
I thought it was. James used to think it's attached to South America, I think.
Is that...
I don't think it's an island on its own.
How do you escape?
Is it not in Indonesia? Is it even in South America?
I thought you'd have to escape to a place like Costa Rica, and you can't escape to something that's not an island, can you? You need an island to escape.
Well, I always thought it was sort of like Papua New Guinea, Costa Rica.
I'm pretty sure it's connected to Panama.
But well, how come you know so much about Panama?
I don't. I just know. I think I know that they're connected.
But why does
What's in
all your
Panama?
geography come in terms of Panama?
Because
Yeah, like how close is England to Panama?
I don't
That-
know.
is that
Someone's
Will?
at the door.
Yeah, that'd be Will.
Well, where is Panama then?
I don't know.
Is it South America?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
Hello, Will.
Howdy ho.
Hello.
We're just talking about. Do you know where Costa Rica is?
South America.
Definitely.
Is it near Panama?
Yes.
Is it an island?
I think so. I'm not
It's
sure.
an island.
I don't know if it is. I think it might be joined onto the mainland in some way.
Oh, you're saying like
What, Costa Rica's a peninsula.
a peninsula, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Costa Rica's a peninsula.
the peninsula.
Oh, why did you
Costa
Google it?
Rica peninsula.
I think it has. Yeah, so it'd go like to this. It has both coasts, west and east.
So Costa Rica's neither east nor west. Home is best.
Okay, so what about
Yeah,
what's in Costa Rica? What do they do there? How do they live? How does Costa
But I
Rica?
don't know. I want to get Will's
Let's.
ideas
I think that's what we need to get into. We've discussed its geography, but what's it about? What is it about? What do you? If I was to run away to Costa Rica now, how would this be different? To
Well, I sort of
read?
imagine you, if you were to run away to Costa Rica, I'd sort of imagine it like the end of Shawshank Redemption, in the fact that you're sanding down an old boat and you're repainting it, and then your old friend that you ran away with, he comes running along the beach, and then you embrace. And
I'm imagining more like a.
I've never seen Shawshank.
Like a
Well,
rundown,
sorry,
escaping
go
like
ahead.
a rundown car. On like a really long drive.
Well, really long if you
Yeah.
have to go all the way across the Atlantic Ocean.
You wouldn't be able to drive across the Atlantic Ocean.
Will, Costa Rica, what do they get up to? The
just
Costa
thinking.
Ricans.
What's the cost of living in Costa Rica?
I think it'd be really cheap. I don't think they'd pay any
I think
tax.
Well, I earn enough
Spoke
being a
about
football streaker.
You could, well, do.
Do football streakers there?
Or a I don't know, no, they don't. What's a job that runs and runs?
Yeah, what, football streakers? What, the people that nakedly run across the pitch?
Yeah, mate. They are.
What, like you're a you're a-
Costa Rica.
you're a football streaker and you have to run away.
Me, Mika.
You're a football streaker and you have to run away to Costa Rica because of the shame. Maybe that's why. But I think a lot of beach time. Screaming for beach time in Costa Rica. I mean, it's basically all beach, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It's absolutely beach in
Out some
town.
jungle.
Beaches, tan lotion,
Yeah.
lots of tan lotion.
I imagine
sun cream lotion.
I imagine the ladies.
Sweaty top lips.
Sweaty top lip.
Yeah,
Do
lots
you
of
think-
sweaty top lips.
I
Yeah.
imagine the ladies there would have bikinis that would sort of come up above their hips.
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
Alka-Seltzer.
Maybe in Costa Rica.
Why?
They won't have it.
Well, everywhere I kind of had Alka-Seltzer. It's just
Yeah, but they'd have it
medicine.
there as well, wouldn't they? I think.
Do you think they'd have homespun medicines? You know, like sort of maybe not mythologized, but sort of like local medicines in Costa Rica.
Well, like the
Maybe
Scandinavian
not
pangolin
approved.
or something.
Yeah, like not like medically approved, but like everyone in Costa Rica knows that. Like how everyone in England knows that a dot leaf is a good serum to a nettle sting.
I think Costa Rica's basically
rubber
just a
canary
big.
on your Gray's knee.
I think
Yeah,
Costa Rica's
and you
basically
won't
just
feel
a big
chased
resort.
anymore.
Do you reckon?
Pretty much. Costa Rica's basically just a big resort.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, like Butlins.
That's really disappointing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Costa Rica is like Butlins.
It's really disappointing if Costa Rica is a big
you
resort
think
for me
people in
because I
Costa-
was imagining more wild than.
I was,
than that.
but there's a lot of jungle. So is that part?
So
of
maybe
the
it's
resort?
two-thirds resort, 1/3 jungle.
Does it
Yeah.
have to be Costa Rica, or can we go for somewhere else, South American, like Panama? Because there's a lot on Panama.
We've spoken about Panama.
We spoke about
Yeah.
Panama enough. We're talking about Costa Rica.
How
Yeah.
about?
Well, we're not entirely. You can
How
play
about
off it.
Haiti? That's not in South America, but
No, but pretty damned.
Lots
It's
of
a pretty
videos.
damned
It's a
country.
pretty loaded subject, that one.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like something about the world hates Haiti.
Including the name.
Which I is nothing to say about the Haitians, but
I'm
like
sure they're lovely people.
I'm sorry about everything because
We're sorry.
we're sorry because like in England, you know, we get it pretty easy. Is there like
Man, you can sig
major
off someone.
sort? Is there major like earth incidents in Haiti? In Haiti now.
Tsunamis.
In Costa Rica, major sort of like.
Why don't we just
earthquakes.
type in Costa Rica and see what the first thing?
No, that would defeat the point.
Well, okay, so we don't actually know anything about Costa Rica.
With some
At the moment, we're just guessing things that could be about Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Could I make a sick?
What's the point in looking up something about Costa Rica when you could just work it out yourself?
Yeah, I suppose.
I think there's a lot of buses in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loads of buses.
Heavy
Loads of
Alf,
buses.
would you agree
Especially-
it's a heavy bus country?
Yeah, there'll be loads of, especially because they'll all be shuttled. It will all be all the locals
They've
that
got
live.
shuttle buses, they've got normal buses, they've got coaches, a lot of coaches.
There'll be shuttle buses full of people going into work in these island resorts in Costa Rica, where they get paid shit all and the only money
I
they
don't
Very
think we
little
need
about
to-
the coaches.
I think we need to formulate this discussion in a question and answer scenario where one person asks another person a question, and then that you can pass the cable tie. The Costa Rican cable tie.
Okay.
One person asks another.
Oh, I've
person
got one already tied up here that I've been playing with, so we can use this.
Okay,
one.
we'll use that one.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No.
I
Mine's got the top scratched off.
just want it to be a sort of loop.
What are we doing with the cable tie?
We're
So-
doing question.
So what we'll do is
and
we'll
answer.
do question and answer situation. So
You want to start us off with a question?
yeah, I'm gonna ask James.
And then wait, hold on, let's
And then-
get the formula right.
so-
Does James then ask a question of someone else?
Yeah. So I asked James a question. We all listen to James's answer.
Okay.
When he's holding that shit.
Yeah, when he's on that, and then he'll ask a question of
Alright.
someone else, and then
Yeah.
we'll just move around like that.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'd like to ask, what kind of buses do you think they have in Costa Rica?
Right, okay. So, I think we'll start from, the sort of large transport. I think a coach. I think I have lots of coaches. Maybe to go sort of the long distances up and down Costa Rica, left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think maybe the towns, smaller ones, like sort of transport buses, your normal ones, sort of like 30 people seating, maybe 20 standing, something like that. And then maybe in certain parts they might even have trams. It's not a bus, it doesn't have wheels, but
I feel like I quite agree with this.
similar system.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll have shuttle buses maybe for like your airport, maybe between resorts. But I think I'm going to go with predominantly coaches.
Interesting.
What's your
Nice,
question, Jim?
beautiful.
I'll ask Ollie, what kind of nightlife do you think goes on sort of in your average Costa Rican town on a sort of weekend? Music, sort of.
We're
bars,
recording this
whatever.
conversation.
I think
Let's see.
a Costa Rican bar would start very, very tame.
Okay.
I think it'd start with maybe people just sort of sat around a beach. Maybe there's someone with an acoustic guitar and they're just strumming away. And love him or loathe him, he's there to stay. And people in Costa Rica are very used to the guy just strumming away on the acoustic guitar. You know, it's as everyday as the sand on the beach shore to the people in Costa Rica. And then maybe, you know, some people would file off home. They've had enough of the acoustic guitar, man. And some people would stay out and they'd be like, oh, well, the drinks are getting slightly more, you know, stronger now. We've moved on from iced teas. Because I imagine they were drinking iced teas before. I don't know how you guys feel about iced teas, but I think they're a country built on the sort of iced tea as a mixer. And then they'd get on slightly stronger drinks and they'd go out. But I don't think their clubs would be inside. I think they'd be outside in courtyards and around town squares.
I'd agree with that.
And they play the music out loud, but people wouldn't complain in Costa Rica because that's just Costa Rican life. The elder people would be like sat at their doors and they'd be like, oh, I wish I could go out there, but I'm too old now, so I can just enjoy it from here. And I hope these young people have a good time out there, because I'm certainly not having a good time in here.
That's
Right.
a great answer.
Yeah.
I've tied the cable tie to my thumb.
I've been watching that cable tie this whole time. That's never coming off.
Says you.
Right, we'll get a new cable
So,
tie.
my question to Will. Oh no, I keep tightening it. Is what?
Hold on a second.
How do you think the emergency?
I've got something for that in my bag.
Okay, please, because my thumb, the tip of my thumb is losing quite a lot of blood.
What's your
I've
question?
been watching you
My
slowly
que- well, let
type
me get to my question. Because
let's just.
have you got scissors? Because if you're not getting scissors out that bag, I'm gonna get some scissors.
I've got something better than scissors for it.
It's not like just like a knife, is it? Because I think scissors would be better.
Oh,
So just pass me those scissors, man. They're right there. Because it's starting to hurt. No, I don't need them.
They're bolt cutters. Who's got petrol?
Oh god, that's pinching my thumb like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you're gonna need to.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that under.
Yeah.
Oh
you will.
shit.
Careful of his tum.
Right.
Ow.
Okay, hold on.
Stop pulling the end of it. That's what the.
Oh fuck.
Ow. Oh jeez. Son. Ow. Stop. Ow. That's getting really tight.
Right. Maybe we should use something that isn't a cable tie, because Ollie's incapable of holding a cable tie.
I've got the cable tie off my phone.
Why don't we
My
use this?
question for Will about Costa Rica is, how do you think the public infrastructure, i.e. hospitals, police stations, is coping with the influx of recent tourism?
Well, I think that there exists this huge class divide in Costa Rica, where the actual island locals and all that, you know, the people that actually live there and work there, aren't earning in the upper bracket. But the upper class, like, which includes the tourists, are funneling loads of money into the system somehow.
Do you think the population in Costa Rica increases massively during tourist season?
Oh,
Do you think they have a massive influx? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's probably difficult for them to cope with the issues for the actual Costa Rican people, because they're too preoccupied with the massive influx of tourism.
Would you ever go on holiday in Costa Rica?
I would, yeah, I'd contribute to that massive influx.
What would draw you to Costa Rica as a holiday destination?
Well, sounds pretty jazzy, Costa Rica. Sounds quite
What do you mean
fun.
on paper?
Yeah, sounds quite fun. It's hot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sounds sort of muggy.
Costa Rica? No, Costa Rica's warm. Warm. And tropical.
Of my love. Oh, you got a new track for it, yeah?
Very familiar with the F sharp.
You are the light of my life, ooh, the fire of my loins. And the next time that we're alone, I want to join our aching groins. Sexually, erotically, to find a way to keep myself from being so alone. Found you in the back bar of a busy pub, just talking on the phone. Knew I'd finally found a way to give that hungry dog a taste of the bone. Virtually, ridiculously, conceptually, together. You are the light of my life, full the fire of my loins. And the next time that we're alone, I want to join our aching groins. Sexually, erotically, spasmodically, forever. Alright. Probably skip this bit. But there are so many people out there and I've got too much love to give. It manifests itself on the daily and it makes me feel wavy to see the great beauty that surrounds. People walk and their hips sway and I can't control myself. God put me here to do one job, the job of every good Christian, to spread love into every crevice. The light of love is infinite, so bright that it turns the night into day. It commands me to love in every way possible. To you, to you, to you, to you, to you. You are the light of my life, full the fire of my loins. And the next time that we're alone, I want to join our aching groins. Sexually, erotically, sensuously. Goodbye.
Well, you've got to ask a question to somebody else on the panel to pass on there.
You can pass the cork.
Yeah.
The nice safe cork.
The cork of talk.
The cork of talk.
Right, okay.
I enjoyed Will's.
Let me think of the question.
I enjoyed Will's the most.
What's this cable for?
That's for garrotting intruders.
That's
So
Harvey's
be nice.
garroting cable.
Ah,
I think we've got enough conversation
No,
about.
I want to get one more round on the question and answer thing.
One
Okay.
more person.
I've got a question.
One more question, answer each.
I've got a question for
It has to be for
Alf.
Alf.
as Alf hasn't had a question asked yet. During the Cuban Missile Crisis,
Yes.
where do you think Costa Rica stood? Were they predominantly communist and siding with the Soviet Russia, or
We've already touched on this subject very briefly, but I'd like to.
I think that Costa Rica stood near the Cuban Missile Crisis, nearer than, say, India.
geographically speaking, you are correct there, Alf.
But I don't think that they would have noticed that there were any missiles around. I don't think that they would have. I think that in Costa Rica, a missile would be something more closely associated with something that might go in your drink, rather than something that might potentially destroy the world.
I see what you mean. Do you want to listen?
So I'd say they only stood near the missile crisis geographically, but
sociologically they
sociologically, I don't think they would have even really known it was going on.
So they're
I feel like I agree with that answer.
Yeah, I do as well.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it makes
I think that's maybe the closest we've got to Costa Rica all evening.
That and the doorstep thing you said.
Oh, well,
That people watching from their doorstep.
Yeah.
I feel like that was pretty.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sort of the same thing, but Al's expanded the idea out.
Okay, I'm going to pass the cork talk around again. Should we go for the same order again?
Can do.
Why not? So back to James.
Or we can mix it up a bit.
The same order again, it would make sense. I'd like to ask, do you think the locals in Costa Rica have ever had any problems with the wildlife? Do you think they've ever had a conflict?
I imagine so.
Would you like the cork?
I imagine that areas, say we're talking about the third of the jungle, people are going to live quite close to the jungle sort of border.
Yeah.
It's
So
not in the jungle in some
It's not in the jungle, of course. There's going to be overflow.
Yeah.
So I think that the people that lived close to the jungle would experience that sort of conflict the most, obvious reasons.
What do you term as conflict with wildlife though in Costa Rica?
I imagine people may hunt in Costa Rica, possibly.
What sort of animals though?
I don't know.
What would you say is possibly the highest injury that Costa Ricans suffer from in relation to the wildlife?
Bites?
Midges.
But I reckon like
midges.
stings.
No, but the injury.
Stings.
Like,
What do you mean? Like
stings.
sort of
Like
stings,
flesh wounds.
Sprained
swelling.
ankles.
well, like, what's...
I reckon
Right,
they have a lot of
okay.
like they often run away from animals and sprain their ankles.
Like in certain circumstances. Well, yeah, maybe.
Imagine they've got
With the
quite
animal
weak
not catch
ankles
up
in
with
Costa
them.
Rica.
Would the animal not
weak
catch up with
ankles.
them then cause them further injury?
I'm thinking snake bites as well.
No, I think they'd just be running away because they were scared, but they might just be running away from, I don't know, like a tangerine.
Probably snake bites.
What's that, a type of monkey?
I think it's in the monkey family. Yeah,
I think we've wavered from the cork of talk.
I think we have wavered from the cork.
I can't remember the question.
The question was, is there any conflict between, was this the question? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. The question was, what is the type of conflict between Costa Ricans and the animal inhabitants and
I think
nature?
up close and personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sort of close quarters.
How many questions you want to put to the panel?
I'll ask you a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yeah. What do you think Costa Ricans are best at?
That's a great question. And it's a question that works on so many levels.
I've got an
Costa
idea.
Rican.
Hold on. To answer the question, you've got to hold the cable of fable.
That's the cable of fable, okay. Costa Ricans. I think Costa Ricans have a wide variety of skills.
Yeah.
Generally, I imagine, and this sounds bad in a way, but I imagine the Costa Ricans are excellent brewers. They
Do you
could
think they do
could've-
beer though in Costa
No,
Rica?
No, I
They
mean like
Costa Rica,
fermenters. They
South
can ferment
America.
anything in Costa Rica.
Tequila's their biggest export.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are we talking desert here? Because I thought
Costa
we
Rica
talking
is
I was thinking they could-
Costa
they could
Rica is
ferment
comparable.
those
It is
tears.
basically Mexico, and
Well, I'd like to answer the question. I think other things that Costa Ricans are good at. So I reckon that I think that the Costa Ricans are excellent pool filterers. They can filter a pool like no other country can. They get all that grit and all that silt out the bottom of the pool, and you can jump into that pool in the morning, and that pool is as clean as you can imagine a pool to be.
well, they have been doing it for at least 50 odd years.
Well,
since
yeah,
the
they've got a
70s.
massive tourist export, which we've already established about Costa Rica. Other things Costa Ricans are good at, this again sounds bad. Cocaine. I imagine they're excellent. They're excellent at cocaine.
Costa
They-
Rican
they-
cocaine.
Yeah, but I imagine they have a sort of drug route through cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They go through Costa Rica to Central America,
I think there is
and then
actually.
through Central America to America.
I think there is a thing called the Great American Highway or something like that.
And
That
would you
goes
say that?
through Costa Rica.
I'm not saying
It's
that.
the Pan American Highway or something.
I imagine they've got also excellent music in Costa Rica. I imagine
Good mariachi.
not just mariachi though, a whole tradition of their pop music. Not that I've heard a huge amount of it, but I can imagine it's got energy
Do you
that
think,
we can't match in England. I don't think English musicians can match the energy that we found in Costa Rica, because I think they're a very energetic bunch.
Do you think they've ever yodeled
Oh,
in
that's
Costa
bad.
Rica?
No, because yodeling isn't their go-to. Because
Do you think anyone's ever yodeled in Costa Rica?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody's yodeled in every country in the world.
In every country in the world, someone's yodeled.
I think so. I also imagine Costa Ricans being particularly good with their. Going back to the last question, which was to James, Gregory even. Sorry. I imagine they'd be particularly good with their planting. They know their they'd be very good at caring for their wildlife, and I think that'd be a certain populace of Costa Rica that would just know the environment well enough to know what's perfect for cultivating it, planting it. So my next question is to Will. How do Costa Ricans deal with being Costa Ricans? There's the cable of fable.
I think Costa Ricans deal with being Costa Rican very simply. It starts off from the very early time of the morning when they wake up. They get up, they put their shoes on, put their clothes on.
Shoes before clothes in Costa Rica, is it?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not Costa Rican. But, perhaps. Maybe indefinitely. Probably definitely not, but they get up in the morning, they put their clothes on, they get ready for their long day at work. They go and work. Then they go down to their local bar, their beach, whatever it may be. They're pally with the locals, you know, they know the barman, they know the owner. They sit there and they drink until the early hours of the morning, maybe sort of 2 a.m, around about that time, just drinking shots of tequila, watering them down with a little bit of water here and there, having a good old conversation. And then they go to bed, they get up in the next morning, they do it all over again, because they don't know any different, because they're Costa Rican. And that's how they deal with being Costa Rican. They just are.
Do you think they deal with being Costa Rican in the same way that we deal with being British?
No, I'm not sure if the media has such a presence in Costa Rica as it does with England and the more developed, like more economically developed countries of the world. I don't think the media has much of an influence and much of an impact and much of a presence. Therefore, I'm not sure if all of Costa Rica is aware as much about the issues that Costa Rica is facing, perhaps politically, perhaps socially, as English people are.
Do you think Costa Ricans are more relaxed?
Oh, definitely. They got the sun, vitamin D, you know.
Yeah.
Much simpler life, much more condensed in a way. Less things to be concerned about.
The kitchen's been Woyse. The kitchen's been better.
You can say that again.
Perhaps there's a place.
Where?
A place, South America.
Yeah?
The floor is covered in sois. The cutlery in feta.
Yeah.
Take me to this place.
Where?
A place, Costa Rica.
Take me away on this summer holiday to a place better than here, Costa Rica. Take me away on a summer holiday to a place better than here, Costa Rica.
'Cause food is the worst. The worst. I must be reimbursed. My money. I'll be leaving in a hoist. In a hoist. Oh, from Costa Rica.
I stole someone's place.
You never.
I took someone's sweater.
Oh, no, not the sweater.
Take me to the noise.
You don't deserve it.
I'm feeling under the weather.
Nobody cares.
Take me away on a southern holiday to a place better than here in Costa Rica. Take me away on a southern holiday to a place better than here in Costa
I went to the church. What you doing, praying? I got down on my knees. I asked the Lord above. What is my purpose? The kitchen's been wide.
Less bombardment by media about things that might be going wrong for Costa Rica at the time.
Do you have a further question for the panel?
Well, what, Alf, would you say is Costa Rica's sort of main way of getting money into their country? From external sources, that is.
I think that. Well, I heard that they don't use money so much as a form of currency, but more as a sort of like a flamboyancy, something you'd show to someone. Like maybe worn. You'd maybe like string an amount of money as a kind of skirt or something. You'd wear it, and then you go to someone and you'd have your skirt of money.
Or like a grass skirt of money.
Sort of, yeah. And
Perhaps there'd be a festival where someone would wear this grass skirt of money and dance in a crowd of people, and it would all be about those people grabbing that money off the skirt.
I don't think they would be that worried about the grabbing of the money. I think they would just... The
Be
person
there.
would wear the skirt, and they'd go to the bar, and the barman would see that they have money, and he'd be like, yeah, you've got money, evidently. So I can give you a drink. I know you're good for it, because you're wearing it around your waist.
About your person, even.
Yeah, or around your waist. And so I'll give you a drink.
On the basis that I know that You have wealth to give me, although I will not ask for that wealth,
Because
as I can see you're clearly wearing it
in the fact that he's
currently.
working, he's probably earned enough money to wear his own skirt of money.
So the barman is completely content in his role as a barman, and therefore he will accept being a barman and giving people drinks, working for the other people, because he knows he has money anyway. He doesn't need any other money. He just really likes being a barman.
So the barman is looking at the person wearing a skirt and saying, "Oh, well, I can see you're good for it. You got your skirt of money on. I've got my skirt of money on too. So if we're both good for us, if we're both good for money, I can see my skirt of money isn't looking too, looking too shallow. Like I can look down and see that I'm good for money myself.
I'll tell you
my
what,
skirt's
you can-
at least reaching my lower thigh, so...
I'll tell you what, you can have this beer, don't worry about giving me money, let's just hope that my supplier has got a bigger skirt of money than I do.
The supplier's got a pencil skirt on, basically.
And I think that's a good place to end our
definitely.
discussion about Costa Rica. Thank you very much. We've been Beef Nappy. Good night. Can we actually...